This is a professional video game speedrunner, and this is me, attempting to speedrun a real-life theme park. Today, I'm on a mission to get a world record, and ride every single ride at Universal Studios in as little time as humanly possible. How am I going to do this? Well, by carefully planning my route and learning some cheeky skips, just like a real speedrunner, I'm hoping to get a sub 5-hour run. The only problem is, theme park wait times are notoriously unpredictable. Will the weather be good? Is the park going to be busy? Am I going to get hungry? These are all factors that are simply impossible to control. Honestly, I've already done a bit of research on this website called Thrill Data, and it basically just tells me the best days to go to the theme park. By looking at the data, it does look like Wednesday is going to be the best day to go, which does make sense, because who's going to a theme park in the middle of the week? As I got to planning, I quickly realized that pretty much every ride shared the same golden window of 9 to 10 a.m., which means there's not really an optimal route other than following the natural shape of the park. Starting out at Rip Ride Rocket, which is known for getting busy later in the day. I'll be finishing my run in Minions Land, which is apparently pretty busy in the mornings. I guess people like starting their day with the Minions, who am I to judge? Now, this is where things get kinda tricky. You see, for every ride in between those two, I'm gonna have to check the wait times as I go, and hopefully avoid any ride closures or delays that may come up. This means that the fate of my run even happening is entirely dependent on every ride at the park functioning perfectly throughout the whole day. And if even one ride closes down, my efforts could all be for nothing, and my dreams of securing a world record time could crumble to pieces. Not to be dramatic. So with my route planned and my strategy in place, I was finally able to hit the hay and get some much needed rest to hit the ground running for my world record attempt the next day.
Rise and grind, gamers. It is the day of the speed run. Let's get the bread. Yes, yep,
As I pulled into Universal Studios and made my way to the entrance, I started rehearsing the route in my head. Start at Rip Ride Rocket, then head over to Jimmy Fallon. Wow, that is a tall roller coaster. Okay, definitely forgot about that. But there wasn't really any time to worry because the park had already opened 30 minutes ago, so I was losing precious time. I went to scan my ticket and enter the park so I could start my timer and let my world record attempt officially begin.
we're in.
Right off the bat, it looked like our research had actually turned out to be pretty accurate, with the park looking not that busy and Minions sitting at a lovely 40 minutes, which means our route was looking promising. I went ahead and hopped in line, and before I knew it, my first ride of the day was done. That'll wake you up in the morning. And there was like no wait time too in single riders, so that was pretty quick, pretty good on time. Next up was Jimmy Fallon, or so I thought, but with a wait time of 35 minutes, I was gonna need to execute the strategic skip. You see, a big part of real speedrunning is RNG, or random number generators. Basically a fancy phrase for things you can't control, like wait times. So instead of waiting 35 minutes for Jimmy Fallon, I walked over to the Mummy, which had a completely open wait time in single riders. Okay, so that's definitely gonna be the move for right now. Walk through this way.
Hope you enjoyed yourself. I would have enjoyed this interview a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee! Thank you.
Alright guys, that was awesome. Another easy on, easy off, single riders for the win. Looks like Jimmy Fallon is down to 25 minutes. I may have to go and give that a shot now and knock it out. Ladies and gentlemen, the strategic skip. So I hopped in line for Jimmy Fallon and saw my good friend, #ThePanda. Hey. He's a cool dude. I would get to know him. I strapped in for the race of a lifetime and absolutely destroyed Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy, you're too much. Now I think the next ride is gonna have to be Fast and the Furious. That is my next ride. They call me a family guy.
There's always room for family.
This ride also had an open wait time, so we were on and off. We also learned a lot about family.
Well, hi, family.
Hello.
How's everybody doing today?
Amazing. So, it was a good time. That was literally GTA 6. Okay guys, so it turns out the Transformers is now closed, so that's no good. I guess we'll come back around. You know, this is what speedrunning is all about, you know, adapting to the circumstances on the fly. No run's gonna be perfect. I still have confidence. I think this will still be a solid run, so I think I'm gonna head over to Men in Black. See what the wait times are faring over there. So I went over to Men in Black and it had a completely open wait time. Also, they sold Dragon Ball Z merch, which is an interesting choice to say the least. Next up was Simpsons Land, where I thought it'd be a good idea to knock out the Simpsons ride and Kengan Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, two attractions that are usually pretty empty, or so I thought. You see, it turns out that the Simpsons was chilling at a healthy 40 minutes, and Kengan Kodo's, well, for some reason I thought this sign said 15 minutes, but as you can see here, it doesn't say 15 minutes. So I hopped in line with high expectations, and the line is a little longer than I thought. I don't know if this is actually 15 minutes. Oh, past me. So young and naive. But you know what? I think this could actually be a good thing, because now I can use the ride to get a bird's eye view of the park and get a better idea of where I need to go next.
I thought this would be a good time to talk strategy. I think we kind of have to hit the Simpsons ride next because it's literally right there. I think after that, we're either going to go back to Gringotts or we can go to Transformers depending on the wait time. It was like 35 minutes last time I checked. Looks like the ride is wrapping up now though, so all we have to do now is execute.
So with my strategy in place, I hopped in line for the Simpsons and was fully prepared to wait in line for 40 minutes. That is until an employee came and escorted us all directly into the pre-show for the ride. Talk about #blessed. So with the Simpsons checked off and our speedrun over halfway done, we made our way to
DreamWorks Land. I totally forgot this was even a thing. We're gonna knock out this Trolls coaster. It's got like a 15-minute wait. This one looks pretty intense, guys. Don't be surprised if I cry a little.
Next up was E.T. Now guys, I gotta be real, this ride used to terrify me. Something about E.T.'s wrinkly skin along with his giant eyes just never screamed cute to me. But regardless, we were on a mission and the only way I was gonna accomplish it was to conquer my fears and experience E.T.
Okay, we did it. That was insane. Now we gotta get over to Gringotts, and I think that's it. Unless I'm forgetting a coaster. I'm probably forgetting a roller coaster.
So I waved goodbye to Shrek and made my way to Gringotts, but then this happened.
Unexpected turn of events. Transformers is now only a 15-minute wait time. So we very well may be in line for a sub 5-hour run, which would be huge.
This was absolutely wonderful news. So I head over to Transformers and just like the app said, it was at a cool 15 minutes. Also, I don't know what it is, but something about zooming past this ride's lore just cracks me up. I mean, it's literally like skipping a cutscene in a video game speedrun.
We literally speedran the story.
Now, you may have noticed that right now, I am running. And this is because if I pick up the pace, I may actually be eligible for a sub 5-hour run. So I got to Gringotts and stuffed all my belongings in the locker, much to this man's dismay. What I didn't remember at this point was that I still had 2 Minion rides to go on, not just one. So if I wanted to secure the world record, I was gonna have to hurry.
Well guys, this is a little embarrassing, but I totally forgot about the Minions. I guess that's one of the cons of doing the run not in order, that it's easy to forget rides. So I'm not seeing the sub 5-hour run if I'm being honest, but came here to have fun and I think we're accomplishing that goal. Let's go and find some Minions.
With the Minions at just 20 minutes, I hopped in line and turned into a Minion. That's the actual plot of the ride. It's a good time. Now it was time for the final ride of the day, Illumination's Villain Con Blast, where you basically just shoot things on a conveyor belt. It was alright, but with our last ride of the day done, it was finally time to sit down and see if we had secured the world record time for a speedrun of Universal Studios.
Alrighty guys, so we're done with the speed run. That was absolutely exhausting. Before I revealed the final time, I just wanted to say thank you, especially if you made it this far in the video. It means the world to me, so I really appreciate it. The final time for the speed run is 5 hours and 24 minutes. Woo, yeah, we can clap it up for that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can clap it up. But is that a world record? Drum roll, please. Thank you. Yes, we are the only ones to ever do this before. Maybe that's a little anticlimactic, but we are technically the only ones to ever attempt speedrunning a Universal theme park. There is this one short of a guy supposedly doing it in 4, but that is the California location. So for Florida, we hold the world record, boys and girls.
What is up guys, post-video Anthony here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you're gonna like this one right over here. I personally think YouTube's always right, so you should give it a watch. Give it a whirl, why don't ya? A twirl and hurl. Get it like the ride? Alright, okay, I'll see ya.